Hello, hello, hello. I am Stephanie D. Sanders, and you are watching Podcast. When I come and I take a moment to interview the interviewers. Now, this guy right here, look at him. He's a teenager now. He was a kid when he interviewed me, and I mean, he did a great job. And I was like, you know what? I'm about to do my show. I'm gonna have him on here, but I'm gonna let him tell you more about himself. Welcome to the show, Tiberius. How are you? How are you?
I'm doing pretty good, and thank you for even letting me on the show.
Oh, yes. I was like, I gotta have him on here. But then I was so shocked when you came on here today, and you are not. You are not the little boy that was sitting in that chair the last time I saw you. I was like, he's a teenager now. How does that feel? You've been doing it a while, huh?
Yeah, I've been doing it for 7 years now. I started when I was seven. I'm 14 now, so it's been a while.
Oh my goodness, Tiberius. Well, what made you decide to even do a podcast?
Well, as you probably know, my dad is an IT guy, and he had a job at a radio station. And
Hmm.
I kept on messing with the mics because, I was there, I was 7 years old. I wanted to mess with the mics. And my dad tried saying stop because he was like, you're going to break them. And then I'm
Right?
not getting paid for this job. He said, I'm going to be paying them. And then the radio show owner asked me, Tiberius, if you had your own show, how would you do it?
Mm,
Have sense.
good question. Good question. And you've been doing it ever since. Now, tell me what's been different for you from that time to now. What's kind of different for you?
Well, we've changed a few things about the show. Normally I was in my school clothes until I met Raquel Aza, and then that's when I switched into an actual outfit. I've changed the colors. And then we also removed a few things like
Hmm.
video game of the week, the book of the week.
Mm.
Had math corners and Lion Strong the entire time because of the main things that really are needed for the show to work. But I also even before all of that was even added, we had the bowling of the week, and that was taken out really, really quickly because everyone would.
So, what's been the most memorable thing that you have done or experienced there on your show thus far?
Wow, one of the most memorable things was interviewing Jason Belmonte. If you look at the video, you will see it's a 1 hour special because we talked for that long. Jason Belmonte was the number one bowler in the world at the time. I hope he still
Oh,
is. I haven't checked yet, but I love bowling. I really do. And interviewing him was one of the best days of my life because I was just a fun conversation and talking to him. That's why I was an hour long.
an hour long talking to one of his favorites, one of his idols, because he wants to be a bowling superstar. And that's going to bring in what? Money, money, money. Can I get a money up in here for Mr. Tiberius? Yes. I was waiting on that. I was so waiting on that right there. It will definitely bring something like that to you. But you know what? You have so many talents that you can do the bowling, you can do the hosting, and you can do many other things. What would you say would be one of your biggest goals that you want to actually go for?
One of my biggest goals is to just teach kids the real meaning of a job. Because
Ooh.
most kids don't really know what jobs entail.
Hmm.
No, normally everyone's told, the police officer, the firefighter, all the basic ones like astronaut and all those ones that everybody knows because that's what's taught in school. But
Hmm.
you don't know about those random jobs like at iFly where you're teaching other people to fly high, like skydiving and stuff. You don't know about the jobs of the garbage man, what you have to go through in day-to-day life, or how you even make enough salary in order to live a life. I mean, trust me, some of these jobs that make minimum wage don't really pay well as minimum wage as you
Hmm.
think it. But when you really look at it, you realize you will never work a day in your life if you have fun doing it.
Ooh, what is that saying that I think the lady had a book, uh, do what you love and the money will come. It was something to that effect. I feel that same sentiment as well, doing what you love. But nowadays, there's so many ways that we can actually make money at doing those things that we love. Have you been thinking about that for yourself here? Would you say you're 17 now?
I'm 14.
Well, I've already given you 3 years. You know what? That was seven.
I
That was 7 years, Stephanie. Not he is
I've been
14, but
thinking about
it's time to think about it. It's time to think about it anyway, because I do this when I do speaking and stuff like that, especially when I talk to young people. It's not a bad idea to start thinking about that now, because sometimes we get to college or whatever, and it's like, I'm not quite sure. Now would be a really good time to think about that. What do you think about that? Have you thought about that?
I've thought about it. Haven't really made a full decision because there's a lot of things that go into effect.
Hmm.
How would the savings go? How would the job be paying? How would I save the money in order to have like a full life worth of what I can use of money wise? And
Hmm.
there's also how much fun it is, how much
Mm.
it pays to have fun. If there's anything
Hmm.
I could really do, there's a lot of things there's a lot of steps that go through it, and I've been trying to go through all of them.
Well, I know that you have been dabbling in another area of interest. So you might be like this X Factor kind of guy. You might have a couple of hats going when it comes to having jobs and careers later on, because I know that your dad had talked to me briefly and you showed me that you have a CD. Tell us a little bit more about that. When did it come out? What's it all about? Give us the 411.
Well, it came out on March 1st of 2025, and it's a brand new CD that I've been working on for over 5 years.
What?
I know I was a really young kid, and we started these tracks, and there's 11 songs on there. Here, I'll even go grab a copy if you don't mind.
Okay.
So I'm back now, and it's a heart of a lion. It's a heart of a lion stands for leadership, integrity, obedience, and nobility. And yes, there's a physical CD, and there's 11 songs, and it's one. The first one is introducing me, and then the second one is one that I worked on to start it. And then I went throughout all of the virtues of Lion Strong and what Lion Strong entails. And I also had like a little conversation as a song, talking about how to use Lion Strong on a day-to-day base. And it's a really good CD. We're selling them for $20 if you really want one. Please text the number 321-662-6788 if you really want one. But yeah, it's really cool. I mean, I just worked on it for 5 years, and I just really enjoy doing it.
Man, 5 years. I know you have some like top five, top three hits on there. Did you write the majority of the material, or did you have a little bit of help with that?
I had a little bit of help. We had a producer.
Hmm.
It went really well. I mean, one of my favorite songs on there is Lion Talk. That's one that's about a conversation about how to use it in day-to-day life. And it's sort of like
Hmm.
a song type of way, but it's more like talking and reaching out to your audience.
Did you want to give us a little taste, a little tidbit of 2 or 3 lines?
Wow, it's been a while since I've recorded these. I'm not even sure if I remember the lyrics myself, but I'm sure my dad could actually pull up the sound audio right now and see if
Oh,
it.
see now that's what it means to have a team. Okay, I am looking forward to having a team because I'm gonna
Yeah,
be
we have a
like,
small team here at Tiberius Show Co.
pull it up, pull it up, pull it up, pull it up. And you know what? They're gonna have them all. I want you to have them all in there, just clips everywhere, everywhere. So Tiberius, I'm trying to.
When the lion comes through.
It's the heart of the lion.
This is the song "A Heart of a Lion."
Okay,
Integrity, obedience, income components for structure, gotta be transformed. There's Christ in our life, you can learning so much. It's truth of his teachings, praising him comes down to the truth seeking. You gotta be hospitable. Loving what is good and it's gotta be original.
Hmm.
High strong is the message that we bring. Glory to the King, glory to the King. Praise to the Creator. Rise above the pain.
Oh, fire, 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 fire. Man, that was hot. Do you hear me? That was hot. You got some skills going on. And you
Yeah,
got the
that's just
faith-based
a little
music
snippet
going.
of one of the 11 songs. I really enjoyed making it.
Wonderful, wonderful. Man, I just love, love, love the way that you have continued to grow and expand what is it, expand your brand. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Do your friends like this Tiberius?
I've given it to a few of my friends. They haven't
Mhm.
really checked it out yet. Because most cars now don't have the CD player in their car.
You know what? I do. Because, and I'm gonna have to get a copy because I asked to have my other radio system taken out and put one in because I still have a lot of CDs and things like that, and whatever, updating myself or whatever. I have a lot of CDs from working at radio station, having my own material. So you know what? It's okay because they can still probably take it and put it into one of those external drives and dump it over to a little thumbnail and just plug it up in the car and bump all the way. So we want to make sure we get that information out to the people so they know how to get that. But what is Tiberius looking forward to doing in 2025?
I'm looking forward for the high school year because I'm
Ooh.
still in eighth grade. And when
Oh,
I go to high school, I'm gonna be switching schools. So
mhm.
it's actually gonna switch from a Heart of a Lion, which is why we posted this now instead of later. And here's a little snippet. It's gonna be the heart of a duck because I'm going to Cornerstone. So figured that might be pretty cool to switch it up a little bit, new beats, new songs, and just
Yes.
heart of a duck.
Look, I can already see a t-shirt, a duck with a little heart right there, and this strong little duck just strolling along with the heart. I can see it. I can see it. It doesn't matter where you go. It doesn't matter where you go with the school or whatever. You should still be pushing forth your music and your message to people because there's somebody out there that needs to hear it. Always remember that. We may not touch everybody, but we are definitely here to touch somebody, and you have got what it takes to touch quite a lot of people, actually. Quite a lot of people. Anybody in mind that you would like to actually work with in the coming years?
We have like a list, like Dan Rather. We've always wanted him on
Oh,
because I took a few questions from him, just a few,
uh-huh.
nothing really big, no copyright. But yeah, I would really like to interview him because I like to see what another interviewer thinks about what I do and how I
Yes,
can make my show better and what I
yes,
can do
yes,
about it.
yes, yes. You should be able to get a lot of hits on that and a lot of people, even beyond Dan, that would want to do that because you're doing such a wonderful job. And I want to applaud you for that, doing a great job at your show, The Tiberius Show. But before we get ready to get out of here in another minute or two, I wanted to make sure that you have an opportunity to tell the people how can they get in contact with you if they want you to perform or speak or come and host a program, do a voiceover, do interviews. Let them know. Let them know.
Okay, so the number to text with your email is 321-662-6788. And if you want to also ask for the CD, text that too. And if you really want it, the Heart of a Lion stands for leadership, integrity, obedience, and ability. And if you don't want the CD and you want it online, go to tiberiusboy.com and you should be able to find it there. It works really well. I mean, I really love making this CD.
Wonderful. Hey, we're gonna have to connect so we can do some projects together. Do our little music thing, acting, hosting, whatever we got to do. I support you guys in whatever you decide to do because I just love, love, love connecting with people of like minds, and you are definitely that. And I just want to thank you so much for being on here with all your effects and stuff. I'm gonna have to bump my game up, get me a team
Well,
up in
thank
here.
you.
Thank you once again for joining us, and make sure you connect with him to get his CD, to connect with him to be on your show as well. I am Stephanie D. Sanders, and you are watching Podcast Interviews with the Interviewers. Connect with me on social media, any social media under Stephanie D. Sanders, and we will get you on. See you next time. Bye.
And cut.